Good afternoon, everyone. Well, hello, Sarge. I didn't know he was outside. What are you doing, Sergeant? That's my old Australian Shepherd, and his hearing is not so good anymore. Sergeant. Yeah, he can't hear me. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Grace Hollow Rabbitry. I am PJ. Yes, I am still pulling babies, weaning babies off the moms. I've got 4 more litters to go. I hope to get that done this week. Now they are 10 weeks old, and I really prefer tattooing around 12 weeks. They're just a little more ideal size for me to handle and fit inside my wrap. But I don't like tattooing him too much after that. So after I get them weaned, I'm going to give them maybe a week to settle in to their new cages and adjust to being off of mom. And then I'm going to start evaluating those litters and tattooing. I'll get a lot of that done next week or after this weekend. And before next weekend, because next weekend Daddy J and I are going to Mountain View. Hello, come on, come here. I don't know if you can see him, but here's the old Australian Shepherd. This is his registered name is Sergeant Red. Yeah, Snow's Sergeant Red, actually. So yeah, Snow was the breeder. And Sarge is going on 13 years old. He's got skin issues, so he smells. He smells terrible. He has smelled terrible for about 2 or 3 years now. He is a tripod. He lost a leg shortly after we moved here, just a few months after we got here. He grew up in the city with a fenced-in backyard, and just a few weeks after we moved here, we're out in the country. We are 18 miles from town. We don't have a fenced yard, and he learned real quick, or maybe he hasn't learned. You can't go playing in the road. And he got hit by a car, and he lost one of his rear legs. I did a video of that. Of course, it would have been 5 years ago, but that was on the old channel, and so it's still there on the old channel, but I don't have access to it. So anyway, here a while back, I was doing a series on homesteading rabbits, and I got sidetracked, but I still have a few more of those videos I want to do. And so today what I wanted to talk to you about was you've decided rabbits is the thing for you, and you've chose you want meat breed rabbits. And so before you go get the rabbits, okay, this comes before you get the rabbits. What will you need? What equipment do you need, and what should you have for daily care for your rabbits? So we're going to go through that today. And the first thing you're going to need, and you can see right here beside me, or maybe at least part of it, a carrier. You're going to need something to bring those rabbits home. Now I have some, fancy and expensive rabbit carriers. You don't have to have anything that nice. You would appreciate it if you did, but you don't have to. You can have a box, put a little wood shavings or some hay down in a box, and leave a airflow. Either punch holes in the side of it. Now, if you do punch holes in it, you got to keep in mind rabbits chew. So if you're driving a long distance, your rabbit may chew his way out of a cardboard box. But for a short distance, cardboard box will be fine. I've had a lot of people show up and transport rabbits in cat carriers, either the bag style or the hard plastic style. And I've had people show up and put rabbits in the wire dog kennel crates. If you use one of those, they do have a tray in them, but it's very, very slick. So you'll want a throwaway towel or something to keep them from sliding, or again, a bed of hay put down in there, which could make a mess in your vehicle, but it would work for carrying a rabbit. Or go the easiest way, and of course the most expensive way, and invest in rabbit carriers like these. These have trays on the bottom which catch any waste or spilled water or anything like that while you're traveling. And then they have the wire bottom, just like a cage. And the size of the carriers is big enough that they can move around, turn a circle, but small enough that they can't be jumping and hopping and injure themselves while you're traveling. These are ideal, but they're not necessary. There are other alternatives that you can use. After that, once you get your rabbits transported and you bring them home, you're going to need a place for them to live. So let's talk about rabbit. Okay, when you talk about housing, the first thing you're going to need to know is a location. You want a safe location that neighbor dogs can't get to, easy access to you so that you can care for them even in inclement weather if you choose to house them outdoors. And you want protection for them. You want protection from the sun, from wind, from rain, and from predators. So a good location might be under a tree. That way they're under the shade and you have some wind block. You could even put a cage on your front porch or back porch, probably back porch. Again, they're out of the sun and they have wind block, and hopefully you have it gated off or something so that predators can't get to them, and easy access to you. You may also want them in your shed or your garage, but whatever, if you put them indoors, you want to make sure you have plenty of ventilation and make sure it doesn't get excessively hot inside your building. As far as the rabbit's home goes, I highly recommend an all-wire cage. Whether you have it on metal legs or you hang them, either way, you want them. I recommend no wood, although you can build your own cage and you can use wood. However, wood is harder to keep clean and sanitary, and they will chew on the wood. So if you do use wood, make sure you're using a non-treated wood that is safe for rabbits. I recommend an all-wire cage similar to this one. You can have it on legs and a tray. I will show you some of mine shortly. Or you can have an all-wire cage and hang it from some sort of structure. I have an outdoor, I call it an air coop, where I have these cages hung. I am using conduit to hang them from, and they are just hanging from the rafters of this structure. You, in addition to a safe home, you also want some kind of feeding system for your rabbit. I use these clip-on J feeders because they look like a J, with wire screen bottom. That way it sifts out the fines, and it clips onto the outside of the cage, with the eating portion goes inside the cage, and it saves floor space for the rabbits. But you can also use a bowl or crocks. You also want a watering system for your rabbit. I like these clip-on crocks. This is to provide fresh, clean water every day. You can also use a water bottle like this that clips onto the outside of the cage, and then they lick the nozzle from the inside. Again, this type saves floor space for the rabbit. I have also seen people use tuna cans or I forget the brand name, but the Dente, small short Dente short stew cans. They will cut holes at the top and put a wire through it and wire it to the cage. Now, in my opinion, those do not hold enough water for a commercial breed rabbit, but if you're home and can fill that 2 or 3 times a day, it will work fine. In addition to a home, a feeding system, and a watering system, you also want good quality feed. You will want to feed a good quality alfalfa pellet. It is a complete diet, and that is all that you need in their diet, besides hay. You also want a good quality hay. I get this alfalfa hay. Is this alfalfa hay? This might actually be Timothy hay, I think. You can use alfalfa, you can use Timothy, or you can use any grass hay. I use this Timothy hay. It comes in a green bale, plastic bale bag, and I get it from Tractor Supply. But you can get a good quality hay from your neighbor that bales hay too. You also want to provide your rabbit with a toy and something to chew on. Rabbits' teeth grow continually, and so they need to chew on things to keep them at the correct length. You can give them a small limb. You want it probably about 1 inch in diameter. Make sure you're using a limb that is safe for rabbits. You can also give them the little plastic cat balls. They will throw those up in the air and they will nose them around the cage to play with to keep your rabbit from getting bored. I also like to give mine these alfalfa cubes. They are pressed alfalfa and they chew on those. They eat the hay and it's hard enough that it wears down on their teeth. I don't give these every day. I give these maybe 2 or 3 times a week, just so they have something to play with. I also have little cage toys. It's a shower ring with some beads on it. I actually ordered mine from Courtney at A-Town Rabbitry. You can check with her and order some toys from her if you would like. Another safe option is untreated hardwood. You can cut into little squares or triangles or circles. I've seen people make them all kinds of color or all kinds of shapes. Those that I see at the store are colored. I assume the dyes or whatever they use to color the wood is safe, or surely they wouldn't use it, but I prefer not to have the dye in it. I prefer to just go to the lumber yard, get a piece of untreated 2x4 and just cut little sections off of it and give it to the rabbits to chew on. And then it goes without saying, you need fresh, clean water for your rabbit every day. So you need a safe environment, a safe cage, a feeding system, a watering system, good quality pellets, good quality hay, fresh, clean water, and chew toys. The last thing that your new rabbit is going to need is going to be your love, care, and understanding. They are animals. They will take time to adjust, and they will have their own needs that they cannot communicate to you, so you have to pay attention. care for your animal and love your animal and tend to its needs. It can't do it itself when it's caged up. You have to do it for them. If you provide all those things, you will have a happy, healthy rabbit. Thanks for watching, and until we speak again, God bless. By the way, this is Friday, but this video will not air until Saturday morning. So if you've been trying to get in touch with me across Friday, several of you have sent me messages across Facebook. I cannot respond to you from Facebook for 24 hours. I have been placed in Facebook jail. I made a post letting my Facebook friends know that transport is being offered, and Facebook said that that is not appropriate content. They deleted the post and they put me in jail for 24 hours. I cannot comment or reply to or make any kind of posts on Facebook for 24 hours. So if you've messaged me and I've not responded, that's why. As soon as my 24 hours is up and they remove the cuffs, I will do my best to respond to you in order that I receive them. I guess from now on, information like that, available rabbits or transport options or things of that nature, is going to have to be posted on a MeWe account. So I am going to be adding the MeWe account down below. So be sure to go over to MeWe and add me as a friend. That way you can stay updated on rabbits available and transport options that come up. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, folks. I'm doing the best that I can to get the information to you as I get it, and I'm going to have to choose a new avenue to do that. So please join me over on MeWe.